It wasn't until I saw in the newspaper that they were auditioning for Into the Woods. The Broadway production of Into the Woods was coming to London, but Into the Woods was coming to London, but it was going to be a new production with a new director. Richard Jones was going to direct it. So Mark Dorrell was a friend that was referred to me, or I was referred to him, from one of the people working on Narnia. And he was the assistant MD on the show, and he sort of coached me for the audition, basically. So I went to the audition, was recalled a few times, and was eventually standing on the stage at the Old Vic Theatre. I'm 16 at this stage, in front of James Lapine, the Broadway director, Richard Jones, the British director, Laura Scott, the casting director, and a whole array of creatives. And all I can remember is just standing there and my leg was shaking like that. There are giants in the sky. There are big, tall, terrible giants in the sky. And you're way up high and you look below at the world you've left and the things you know from more than a glance enough to show you just how small you are. When you're way up high, you're on your own in a world like none that you've ever known, where the sky is bed and the earth is stone. You're free to do whatever pleases you, exploring things you never dare, but you don't care when suddenly there's a big, tall, terrible giant at the door. A big, tall, terrible lady giant sweeping the floor. And she gives you food and she gives you rest, and she draws you close to her giant breast, and you know things now that you never knew before. Not till the sky. Just when you made a friend and all, and you know she's big, but you don't feel small. Someone bigger than her comes along the hall to swallow you for lunch. And your heart is lead, your stomach stone, you're really scared being all alone. And it's then that you miss all the things you've known in the world, you've left in the middle, you've all the fun is done. You steal what you can and run, and you scramble down, and you don't know when the world you know begins to grow. The roof, the house, and your mother at the door. The house in the world you never thought to explore. And you think of all the things you've seen, and you wish that you could live in between, and you're back again and be different than before. After the sky, there are giants in the sky. There are big, tall, terrible, awesome, scary, wonderful giants in the sky! I'd like to thank again, I'll probably be doing this all night, Dan and Laura, who are just amazing. Well, big, tall, terrible, awesome, scary, wonderful giants puts it perfectly. Julie Mackenzie, Imelda Staunton, Little Giant, Nicholas Parsons, and Jacqueline Dankworth, Kate Arby, was it about Samantha Smith is here tonight. It was just the most amazing experience, and the camaraderie backstage, doing that wonderful piece on stage. Every night for 6 months. While I was doing my A-levels in the day, I used to commute and do the matinee on my study period. It was just the most wonderful, formative experience. As you know, if you do know the show, and if you don't know the show, I'll tell you, everybody dies. Apart from Red Riding Hood, Cinderella, Jack, and the baker. So it became very apparent about 3 or 4 weeks into the run that every time someone died, they were sneaking off to the witch's dressing room for a glass of wine. This became known as Stiffy's Wine Bar. And you can imagine what the curtain call was like. After Into the Woods, I decided that I wanted to go to drama school, because I said I was obsessed with Leslie's career. and I auditioned for the Guildhall School of Music and Drama. I didn't get in. And one of the reasons I didn't get in the first year is because Julie Mackenzie, Patsy Rowland, and someone else from the show all wrote letters to the head of the principal of the school saying you have to take him in, Which of course they all, ridiculous. But anyway, we got I went back the next year and finally got the part. And had an amazing time. Guildhall is an extraordinary school. My fantasies of the kids from Fame were slightly... but it's a wonderful school. People studying acting, music, stage management, every instrument under the sun. And it's very well funded and still is. So it was a real privilege to be somewhere like that. For example, one day I would just go down to have lunch, and you go into a hall and there'd be the whole of Rachmaninoff's piano concerto just being played, and you just sit there while you're having your sandwiches. After Guildhall, I didn't quite take the path that they'd hoped for, having done a classical course. I found out they were doing a stage version of Fame. I really wanted to be in it. Luckily, the director had seen Into the Woods, so it was quite easy to I got the part quite quickly. It was an amazing experience. It was a funny old time because it was quite an emotional time. We lost our leading man. Sadly, he died. For we're not really sure what reasons, but it really brought the company together. We were a very strong company, and most of us are still friends to this day. I will introduce you to a friend of mine that was in it after this next song. The actor must learn to use the magical if. What if? From the moment of the appearance of this if, the actor passes from a plane of actual reality into the plane of another life, created and imagined by himself. Believing in this life, the actor can begin to create. I want to make magic. I want to be bigger than